another episode of Reboot. We are firmly within the month of October. Summer has ended. Fall is here. And of course, this is when all the spookies come out. I'm your host, Scott Owen.
I'm your other host, Frank Serra.
I once again forgot to introduce myself earlier and was wondering why Frank had not yet spoken, and then I forgot our rule where Frank may not speak until he has introduced himself.
Yeah, it's been a while. We haven't recorded in a whole 7 days.
Yeah.
You're about to forget some things.
I do that most episodes. I just want to dive right in. The spooky month is here, but we don't want to make everybody too spooked. So we're not going to be
spooky enough out there.
Spooky enough out there. You don't need to be spooked in here. You know, we'll just add a little bit of that flavor. I might put some like bat sounds around.
Ooh.
Oh, that was really good spookers.
A little bit of that, yeah.
But
that's all you're getting. There's not going to be more than that.
Yeah, it's just more of an ambiance.
This is a place of moderate frightening.
Yes. But Frank, here you've been telling me, you've been petitioning me for
ages
since
Scott.
the show began, really.
I wanted it to be episode 1.
To reboot your most treasured?
Cherished. Formative, even.
Formative.
Fox Saturday cartoon, not cartoon, action.
Arguably the most
Fox
influential
Kids.
Fox Kids Saturday weekday cartoon owned in...
Not a cartoon.
Not a cartoon, owned by Legos.
Of all time, Scott. I'm talking about Galidor, Defenders of the Outer Dimension.
Now, Frank, where is the outer dimension?
The outer dimension is all around us, but it's everywhere Earth is not. They just go away.
Now, Earth is all around us.
Mm-hmm.
So how is... This is not tracking.
Yeah, so...
You're telling me the entire solar system is the outer dimension? Because that's...
Are you familiar with Farscape?
I know that it exists.
Okay, so Galidor, it plays a really smart move. Galidor has the same initial conceit as the sci-fi original series Farscape.
Does Galidor take place in the same universe as Farscape?
People from Earth. So the people from Earth, it starts out like... What ends up happening is that they accidentally faster than light travel, and they don't know where they ended up. And so the point of the show is that they're trying to get back to Earth, but they don't know where it is.
So Farscape is about... Man, that sounds pretty...
Farscape's about a guy who goes through a wormhole.
Man, that's a really good sci-fi premise. How good did that show do?
He goes through a wormhole by accident, and he ends up like somewhere else in the universe with other aliens around.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, I'm from Earth, and they don't know what that is.
Why does he call it Earth?
He does. Is a for instance.
I see.
And he says I'm from Earth, and then they say like, what is Earth, right? And then he's like, I'm near like these stars, and they're like, we don't know those stars.
Uh-huh.
And so he needs to figure out how to get back home, but he doesn't even know like where to begin.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a similar concept for Galidor.
Man, how did Farscape do? That's a really cool premise.
Kind of a cult favorite.
Oh, so it's probably bad?
It's pretty low budget. It's not bad, but it's you kind of have to roll with the punch of like the low budget special effects. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to handle it.
Okay.
Like a Doctor Who style.
Yeah.
Or
okay.
like, if you can't accept that it's part of it, you're just not going to be able to do it.
Okay, well, we're not talking about Farscape in this episode. We're talking about Galidor, which I assume had a good budget as it was being backed by the Lego company.
Oh, yeah, dude. It had like $100.
That's not a very good budget.
No. In fact, nobody actually like lays legal claim to it. It's just like fully up on YouTube.
They're just like, we don't...
Like, anybody could pause this episode right now and search to Galidor Defenders of the Outer Realm episode 1 and just watch the entire series on YouTube.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so it's about 100... Well, it's 99% people standing still in front of green screens and talking to each other.
All right, well, Frank, why don't you give me your brief Frank's summary?
Yeah, so here's a rundown. So In the world, in the outer dimension, right? There's a bad guy who's trying to rule the universe because there's always one of those just floating around, right? His name's Gorm.
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 Gourmand.
So Gorm is an evil conqueror situation, right? So then there's a planet named Kek.
Kek, huh?
Yeah, Kek.
Okay.
That's ruled by like benevolent people, you know, like a Superman Krypton kind of thing. Gorm takes it over. But the queen and king of Kek, the king and queen of Kek, they launch a thing called the Egg Out with their baby son, and they launch it into space, and they say find a planet that's inhabitable.
Wait, there's a baby in the egg?
There's a baby in the egg.
Wow. Now, do we need a spoiler warning on this episode here? Because Frank,
No.
I've seen the first episode and I did not know there was a baby in that egg.
No, this is the prologue. This is like the first 2 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, I know. I watched it and they don't tell you the baby's in the egg.
But the baby is Nick Bluetooth, so
They don't tell you that. That's
They
not
don't
going to be
tell
a
you
big
that?
reveal. That's probably a big reveal for later.
it's probably a pretty big reveal.
So Nick
Anyway,
is
basically-
from the outer dimension.
They basically non-copyright infringe Superman, and they send their child to Earth.
And that
I don't know
child's
how
name
long
is
it takes to get there,
Nicholas
but he's still a
Bluetooth.
baby. I guess. So his name is Nick Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons that's kind of weird is that, like, his parents are like Sam Bluetooth and Rihanna Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm. That's just before real Bluetooth technology.
But so if you like launch an orphan down into space,
yeah,
like,
how
they
does
their
he know
name is?
his last name?
How does he know what his correct?
He was
last
probably
name
shipped
is?
with like a sign that said, "Hello, my
Yeah,
name is Nick Bluetooth."
I am Nick Bluetooth.
No more information needed. Do not question the egg.
So even though he's an alien, everyone on the planet Kek is like exactly like humans, so nobody notices.
Now
There's
wait.
There's one thing that's special about Mr. Bluetooth, though.
What's special about Mr. Bluetooth?
Give it a second.
Okay, fine.
So
So Nick goes to
later-
school probably.
he goes to high school,
High school.
Angel Grove. Wait, no.
No, that's Power Rangers.
Nick Bluetooth. He goes to high school.
I do remember
It's just called high school.
I do remember in the episode that I saw, his teacher dismisses class, the bell goes off, and then Nick asks further questions to like
I know he's the worst.
He's like that awful kid who basically thinks he knows more than the teacher and has to debate the teacher and always insists upon logic and reason like an enlightened, philosopher. But he's like 14.
He does think that he is that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then there's like a space thing, like a bounty hunter like tries to like shoot Nick Alien, who tries to like shoot Nick Bluetooth
Oh.
or something. It's all just set up. So then
Bounty hunter comes to Earth, tries to kill
he
him.
finds a spaceship that's called the Egg. 'Cause it looks like an egg.
Is it the same egg as before?
I think it might be. I honestly don't know, and they don't say.
It's a different egg ship.
But I feel like it has to be, right?
Okay.
But so now, the egg like warps them, and like this is where it gets weird, which is like it like warps them to the outer dimension, like capital O, capital D,
Mm-hmm.
and like maybe they're actually in a different dimension, and like maybe they're not, but they don't really talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But so now they're in the outer dimension. And then like this people like he gets in the egg and it's like he finds a thing that's like a electronic like map thing, and it's like there's like a recording from his like mom or something, and is like my dear Nick Bluetooth, like you are an alien prince or whatever, and like now you need to come and now you need to fight Gorn because you have the power to glinch.
Glinch?
Right?
That sounds like the
Glinch.
Harry Potter thing. What's it called in Harry Potter when you teleport and get pieces of yourself stuck out somewhere else?
I don't know, but glinching is what it's called for me.
Oh, it's called splinching. Splinching is the Harry Potter one.
Yeah, so this one is called glinching.
Glinching, splinching.
Glinching with a G.
Uh-huh.
So the way glinching works is that you can trade body parts with people,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of ill-defined, right? So like you don't need physical contact.
Mm-hmm.
You like this is something that wasn't really raised in the kid show, but you don't need consent. Like Nick Bluetooth can glinch, which means at any time he wants, he can like look at a person and then like have their arms and then they have his arms and, like, and there's like a flash of like energy.
He could just force a body part swap.
Yeah.
They don't have to consent.
Correct.
Oh.
And so he collects allies that have unique body configurations for him to trade with, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So the three quick ones, like the three core crew members. One is Jens with an S, Jens.
Yeah.
He is an animate plant person. He was an animate plant race person, but then like his plant body got burned by Gorm, and he transferred his mind into a robot body.
He glinched his brain.
No, here's the thing. Another additional part of Nick Bluetooth's glinching process is that it doesn't need to be organic material because he can glinch Jen's scary robot arms.
Could he like go up to a spaceship and glinch a spaceship onto his foot?
I feel like he could, but he just never chose to. He's not incredibly bright. It's mostly just that he glinches.
He just thinks he's very smart.
He just thinks he's hot. Yeah.
I don't like him.
I mean, he's a broody, classic late 90s teen.
Oof.
So then his second best friend is Euripides, an amphib, which is a race of bipedal, like anthropomorphic frog people.
Okay.
And he is the high scholar of the royal court of Galidor.
Of course, his name is Euripides. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And so he talks about like philosophy and stuff, but he also has telekinesis.
Oh.
And like powerful jumping legs
because of his good brain.
Nick Bluetooth cannot take the telekinesis because there's no glinch part for that, but he can glinch the really powerful jumping legs and jump really far up with them.
So Nick's like, "Hey, give me your legs. I got to jump."
Yeah, and then his third friend is Nepal, which is a
that's a country in
it's a country,
Asia.
A race in the show, and also the man.
Is that the little blue man?
It's the blue man, yeah. So he's like a blue furry Bigfoot, and he like was a Bigfoot, but then Gorm shrunk him to people size.
He's a small foot.
Yeah, he's like a small foot.
He's a little foot from Land Before Time.
Nepal has powerful arms that can project ice, and he has very fast running legs. Everything in the show is about the arms and the legs that you have.
Not your torso. Can you glinch a torso?
You can glinch a torso, doesn't do much.
Really?
Like, how much special powers does your torso have that mine doesn't?
I mean, it's got like all my it keeps me alive. It's got all the things that make me live. My arms and legs don't keep me alive, so that's
but like if I took your torso, what could I do with your torso that I couldn't with mine?
I don't know, maybe some push-ups. I don't my pecs might be stronger than I can't do any push-ups, but you might be able to do push-ups with my torso.
But so that's the other part of glinching is that like so glinching is like a process like glinching it requires effort to maintain. Like Nick Bluetooth has to expend physical strain to maintain the glinch.
I see.
While glinching, like incompatible body parts like don't matter and like everything is trill. So like when he trades his arms to Jen's,
it doesn't matter that one's a robot arm.
Jen's robo arms, like his arms are still fine.
But Jen's has his
He's
human
got
arms.
people flesh like glomped onto his robot body, but it doesn't matter because it's glinching.
It just works. Okay.
It just works.
Okay. So
there's Gorm is always sending enemies one at a time into the egg to try to get Nick Bluetooth. Usually what happens
into the egg, the whole show exists on this one ship?
They land and then they get out and it's like a green screen and they can only walk like in front of the green screen.
Yeah, so it's all
Are
they just like pretend walking on a treadmill? Because that'd be pretty great.
Yeah, so basically the episode structure is like, there's a conflict that gets raised, and then during the course of the show, they meet somebody in like a different scene who has a body part that then proves to be what Nick Bluetooth needs to glinch at the end of the episode to solve their problem.
So he's just stealing strangers' parts.
Like something falls off a cliff and like into like a lot of like mud, and then they meet people. They like go into the village to like get help, and they meet people who have like giant long arms that can poke through mud.
Giant mud arms. Okay.
And then Nick Bluetooth says, "I want your arms to give me them."
And then they say, "Okay,
like,
huh?"
What is glinch? You have the royal power of glinching, like my king or whatever. Because it's like a thing. It's like a bloodline power. Like
now,
only the royal family has
I
it.
saw an episode. I just came unbidden to my mind where the blue guy and the frog glinch each other without Nick.
Without Nick, are you sure?
I remember he's all upset about it. The blue guy.
I think maybe everyone can do it, but not normal humans.
Everyone from the outer dimension can glinch.
Yeah, I think everyone in the yeah. So that's what we'll go with. Everyone in the outer dimension can glinch, and Nick Bluetooth being able to glinch is because he's not a human. But he's like the best at it. Like there's a reason he's around, and like that must be it, right? Like he's the best at it.
Yeah. So he wears that thing on his chest. What's that thing do?
I honestly don't know.
Cool.
I'm gonna be straight with you. The great radio also.
Yeah, okay, so let's reboot this mofo. Do we get all his buddies?
Oh yeah, he has a human friend named Allegra who is
Gotta have the human
quote,
friend.
a karate expert, unquote.
A karate expert at only 14 years old. Here's the thing. Anybody could be an expert in karate because there's no governing board of karate.
Yeah.
I'm an expert in
karate.
karate.
Good point. Like,
I'm an expert in
if
karate.
If some dude says that you got a black belt, like, does that mean, like, can it mean that you like that they picked wrong?
Yeah, a lot of people get black belts just because they paid to be there, and then they get a black belt.
Seems
like if anybody tells you they have a black belt, 90% of the time you shouldn't be impressed. 10% of the time it's actually impressive, but 90% of the time it means they just kept showing up to karate practice. All right, let's reboot this now. Sorry, did I ruin your black belt?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll take it down off my wall mount.
Yeah, your sensei was just some guy who had money to rent a dojo.
I thought it was weird that he just called me number 11 the whole time.
Like the Stranger Things, though. Now that's cool.
Well, I mean, the other part of it was like during my test, I missed, like I didn't even hit the board.
Yeah.
And then he just like charged me $50 and gave me it anyway.
Gave you the new belt, huh?
Gave it to me anyway, yeah.
All right.
And I said like, but sensei, and then he was like, "Don't worry about it."
Hey man, don't even worry about it. Don't even trip.
All right, well, thank you for listening to Karate Talk.
Yeah, just shattering the karate dream and the mythos.
Bash karate. People who do know karate, please don't come to my house.
You can come to my house. I'm not afraid. I'll just lock the door.
For anyone listening, Scotch address is.
You don't even know.
And then bleep.
Here's an important part of our friendship is that I have never once told Frank my address.
Oh, see, I thought it'd be way funnier if you bleeped me saying nothing afterwards, like as if I said your address.
Yeah, they're both good.
I thought that would be really funny, but now you're just gonna leave this in, huh?
We could do either. Okay, Frank. What do we got for ideas here?
All right, so this is a weird starting point for us because traditionally we take stuff that's not that bad and we make it a little bit more nuts.
This is something that's already pretty nuts.
Yeah, we're starting out with a big old bullet crazy, so I feel like we gotta like tighten it up, rein it in a little bit.
I think too. This is a good opportunity for like a for reals reboot because this is a show that only got like 10 episodes or something, right? And then it got canceled.
Yeah, basically.
So we could, just reboot it, bring it back. It's now
like I so badly want this to be good, and as a child I thought it was when I would watch Fox Saturday Morning, Fox Kids.
Natch. So this show's 15 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So what if in the show it's now 15 years later, Nick
Bluetooth and Allegra are now 30.
Yeah, and they have a kid, probably, I guess. They got married.
They definitely have a kid in the outer dimensions.
Hang on.
And this dude was glinching in the Woomba.
Oh, gross, man.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, no, that wouldn't...
With what and whom?
I thought about it, and that would kill the woman. Yeah. Never mind.
A guy walks up and shakes her hands, and suddenly that guy has a fetus arm, and then there's a giant arm
then the
protruding out of her.
She would die. Yeah,
she would die.
That's not good at all.
Jeez, Frank.
The baby doesn't glinch in the womb at all. Never, ever once.
Not once does it glinch in the womb, Frank.
But then it gets born, right? And then the doctor does the butt slap.
Mm-hmm.
But then he has a little baby arm.
Just like instant glinching.
Yeah. Like instinctual defense glinching, right? Like you get that. I want to try to do some Foley work here. Like you get.
But now the baby's got that huge arm.
Like and they're like all of a sudden they have to hold like 20 more pounds. What is an arm? I don't know.
An arm is probably, I don't know, my arm, I'd guess maybe 5, 10
because it's hard because like you're always holding your own arm up a little bit. Like you can't dead weight it. I don't know. All of a sudden, they're holding someone else's 20 more pounds of people, right?
Yeah.
And the doctor, I'm loving the visual of the little baby arm coming out of the doctor. Like, I gotta see patients, so I gotta glinch back. All right, so their kid is obviously like the super glincher, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is he a super glincher but he's so, like, I think we could go somewhere with this insta glinch where he's like, she. It's got to be a she. She is so good at glinching that like anybody who touches it, she's got like an X-Men rogue situation where anybody who touches her bare skin
over glinching,
unintentional. So she has to wear gloves and stuff all the time,
just constantly.
If she ever smooches a boy, they're
they glinch faces.
Yeah, she's gonna have to get that under wraps.
Dude, how great! Like just how insanely good camera work would it be to glinch and swap faces like without the viewer knowing until they zoomed out?
Yeah. How would they?
Because you could do a smash cut as if you were just changing. You could so when they swap faces,
I see. And then you zoom in. It'd be zoomed in, but then suddenly their faces are on the other side of the smash cut, and then you zoom out.
Smash cut to a different angle, but then it zooms out, and their bodies are the same. Oh.
Getting some director of photography notes ready here.
Yeah, I'm Randy for this.
Okay, so did the show resolve at all in the original?
Not even a little bit. So like, both of Nick Bluetooth's parents are like.
According to Wikipedia, his mother is a queen and his father is an adventurer who adventured to the outer dimension, and then I guess he just got like a big enough deal.
Yeah. Or something. And then like the whole thing is that like he's trying to find Earth and trying to find his mom and also trying to find his dad, but not that hard. Because his dad's like dead.
His dad's like, hey, I'm dead.
Yeah. Well, so his dad's dead. More spoilers alert right here. His dad's dead. And in like the last episode, like before they got canceled, his dad was is in like Gorm's prison camp and like is a slave.
Oh, okay. So, and does Nick know that? Did Nick see it or no?
No, it was just like for the viewers.
Okay, so Nick doesn't know his dad. So, here's what we do, Frank. Here's what we do. I don't know what this voice is. This is my crafty voice, I guess.
Yeah, this is keep it on file.
A dangerous, scary bounty hunter guy shows up in the quiet village that Nick has made a life in.
Oh, because he's like retired, right?
Yeah. Nick's like, I couldn't do it.
He has like an eye patch on his one eye.
Yeah, so in the interim we show like a flashback, or maybe just like we hint at it and we'll show a flashback later that Nick did try to confront Gorm and lost. And Nick like intentionally chose to not fight him to save his friends or something. Like Nick failed to everyone else. And so Gorm has conquered the outer dimension in this new. Now we got to avoid here. We're not going to make a secret team of post-apocalypse fighters.
No.
But so
no
then
teams.
This bounty hunter shows up looking for Nick. Kills Nick?
Kills. Yeah.
Here's the big
Kills
reveal
Nick.
I'm going for. The bounty hunter is Nick's father, who's been like glinched out of his gourd and like reconfigured into a bad
he's
guy.
70 years old by this point.
Yeah, he's more machine now than man.
Yeah, more machine than man now.
I mean, I said the line right, and then you messed it up.
So then, does he like know? Is it like I'm sorry, but I have to like? Is it
No.
like I'm sorry, but I'm not in control, or he's just like nuked?
I think he knows, and he's just evil now. I think he's been
He's just evil now.
twisted.
It's not like So like you took everything from me, and now I'm going to take everything from you by killing you.
He's like, you really, yeah. So maybe he feels betrayed that Nick, whatever choice Nick made, that failed the outer dimension.
You know, this is gonna get
really curious where this word's gonna end.
Out.
Oh, teased. Okay, yes.
Right? Like we know, like I would even say like through episode, like I would even say that only in the season 1 finale do we actually finish getting the rest of the pieces of what horrible thing Nick Bluetooth did.
Yes. And so his father's like...
And it was like a great... Like, he had a chance to stop Gorm, but didn't. And
Yes.
chose not to.
Yes, that's very good. And Nick is missing an arm
And he
at this
can't
point.
glitch onto that arm
I think
ever.
he can glitch onto that arm. It's just when he unglinches, like he doesn't get his regular arm back, and whoever he
He's
glinches
stuck.
with has to go without an arm for a while.
Okay.
Like some sort of glitching accident.
Yeah. And he keeps a bunch of garden tools by the door as, like, emergency glinchers.
Maybe we save Nick's death to like the end of season 1.
How about...
Because I want to see some like one-armed Nick running around doing stuff. Maybe we find a
I want
guy.
stakes, though. So how about Bounty Hunter Dad shows up, Samuel,
Yeah, and he's
tries
called.
to kill Nick Bluetooth, takes the arm.
Oh, maybe that could be. Well,
They
I like the
escape.
idea that Nick lost his arm in a glitching incident in the before times, and then maybe later they encounter a bad guy who has Nick's arm.
Oh. And he's like, my arm is telling me that you are its owner.
Ooh, does the arm want to be back on the body? Does Gorm have his arm?
Does Gorm have his... Oh my god, dude. Gorm has his arm. And that's... So Gorm puts Nick Bluetooth's hand, like, to his ear and is like, yes. Mm-hmm. He, like, uses a psychic connection to track Nick or something like that,
So
right?
he's like Voldemort?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
That'll work.
Now, Frank, I have a really important question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get blue, but can they glitch dogs?
I think that...
Can you like
You
touch
know,
his dips?
I
and
think
glitch
that
dogs?
obviously, yes, they can, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing stopping them.
Yeah.
But I think a big part of it is the two-way trust involved. You know what I mean?
Hey, but we're gonna switch back, right? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, def.
Totally.
That's a factor. Only very, very close. I think any two havers to swap, they would need to be so close to each other emotionally and
Yeah.
spiritually
Okay.
that they wouldn't.
All right. We won't get into that. Won't happen in the show.
Or will they?
That's not gonna happen in our show. I just want to know if it could happen in universe.
Yeah, it's on the table.
Maybe they go to like a really seedy club and they're like offering dong
Yeah, it's like, hey,
glitches.
wanna swing?
So
Wanna swing this sausage?
the show opens with baby Bluetooth being born, and then are we gonna jump forward like another 15 years? So now Nick's like in his 40s.
Yeah,
Because I feel like we can't have a
feel like
show about his kid if his kid's a baby the whole time.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. So we'll do the birth, right? And then I think we'll have some good tension set up, right? We're like like they're like holding the baby and stuff, and then Allegra says like, "You know what this means, right?" And then Nick Bluetooth says like,
The
"We'll be
uber
ready."
glinch. The
He
super
says
glinch.
like he like looks at her and he says like, "We'll be ready," and then like that's it. Like we don't know what the hell they're talking about.
When the doctor spanks the baby and gets a fetus arm, does he go, the
It's not a
prophecy?
fetus arm because the baby's born.
Yeah, that's true. A regular baby arm. Does the doctor go, the prophecy?
I think the doctor doesn't know or care about the glinching prophecies.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, well, the glinching is obviously a thing, but the prophecies are, I think, a private thing.
the prophecies of the super glinch touch boy.
Girl. Oh, the prophecy is for a boy, but they have a girl.
I think the prophecy is just for a child.
A child, then it's okay. So then, since Nick Bluetooth's dad was Sam, she can be Samantha, right? And then we can do Sam Sammy. Like, you were my namesake, but now I'm gonna kill you.
That's good. Okay.
So then little Samantha does the baby switch, and then it's like, bloop.
Bloop. So then she
I
has...
think we do like a training montage of the baby. No. The babies can't do training montages. We just skip forward.
We could just have a funny montage where they like glinching mishaps.
Yeah. We got to get some levity involved.
They're trying to keep her like covered up all the time, but
Yeah,
she
she,
takes
like-
one of her gloves off as like a 2-year-old, and then like their pet dog walks in, and the parents are like, no, and suddenly she's got like
Yeah.
a person head on a dog
You know
body.
what they never really talked about is like whenever someone glinches, they like glinch an appropriate trade. Like you can't glinch someone's head onto your arm.
Right. Oh, can she? Could she glinch like
I
a
think she
foot
can.
onto? Maybe that's like.
I think she pets the doggy, and then she has a snarling dog head on her arm.
And she has to learn to control that glinch.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes
she's the uni glincher.
So that'll be a fun
Now-
mishap we get to have sometimes in an episode where she'll be like, "Hey, Jimberg, give me your robot blaster cannon arm."
Jimberg is a creature with powerful crushing limbs. He walks on all fours, kind of.
And apparently he has a robot blaster cannon arm.
And he has a robot blaster cannon.
And she says like, "Give me that," and then she touches him, and then suddenly she's got his head on her arm, and they have to.
So you're thinking that whenever she messes up, she takes their head onto.
No,
her
I don't. I think I just couldn't think of another example. She grabs
so
a
she has to
leg.
put the blaster cannon for a leg, and then has to like.
Oh yeah, that could be. So sometimes the mishap is she grabs the wrong limb, and sometimes the mishap is she grabs the right limb but puts it on the wrong spot.
Wrong spot.
Yeah, that's fun. That can add some
Do you think,
tension
like,
and drama.
You can glinch robots, right? Like, do you think you could glinch like a shovel?
I think she can.
And she can just go nuts, right?
Yeah, but so
like,
the problem
somebody
is
tries to-
you can't swap with a shovel, so then her arm just like flops on the ground.
Yeah. So like there's
Maybe
a
you
thing where
can't
they're,
then.
like,
Maybe
in
you
a-
have to do a swippy swappy.
like someone's trying to kick in the door to their hut, right? And she's like, my punching fist isn't gonna do it this time. But then she looks over and there's like a garden shovel, and she's like,
But why
that'll
wouldn't she
do.
just pick up the shovel? Why would she have to glinch it?
well, I mean, why would you glinch anything? So she needs the robot cannon to shoot at the thing, right?
Yeah.
But the person she's switching with is right next to her. She could just say, "Hey, shoot that," but she glinches.
Yes, I'm just saying. I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like maybe glinch there has to be a swap involved.
All right, yeah. There's
She
no
could
free
take
glinch.
the shovel head onto her and swap it with her hand. So now the shovel is like a wooden handle with a hand on the end.
Yes.
There's got to be some swapping.
And then there's like a kong, because the guy
blocks
kicks in
it.
the door, and then down comes the shovel,
Down comes the shovel, and then they start calling her the shovel.
the shovel queen.
And her weapon of choice is that shovel for the
It's the
entire
shovel.
rest of the
She keeps
show.
it strapped onto her back like a sword,
Yes.
and then she like can casually reach back and like touch the shovel head.
Mm-hmm.
God.
That's so dumb. I love it.
God. So then she starts to gain fame in the hamlets, right?
Mhm.
As the shovel queen, the great defender. And then we do a
I feel like in episode like 3, so the first maybe we do a 2-part premiere, and then she has to leave with Nick, and they go on like a journey.
Okay, yeah.
Is Allegra still a karate master?
Yeah. Yeah.
Allegra
I mean,
flies
she
the
doesn't have any
ship,
other-
maybe.
She still doesn't have any other powers.
Nick takes her to the underground garage and pulls the sheet off of the egg,
Yeah.
and then they go fly around in the egg. Yeah. Okay.
And they just like. So what do they need to like do? Like where are they? What are they doing? Where are they going?
So the bounty hunter, Nick's dad, shows up and like torches the village, maybe, and so maybe so Allegra's like, we have to do something. Not Allegra,
Yeah.
baby girl.
We have to fix the mistake we made
like,
all those years ago.
not
and
a-
Nick Bluetooth says, "You don't mean that?"
I don't know that. No, I didn't mean Allegra. I meant his daughter. I meant she's like, I'm gonna go do something about this, and Nick's like, well, if I can't stop you, then I'll at least go with you to keep you safe.
I'm not gonna let you kill yourself.
Yeah.
Grill. Daughter. So then they just all get on the egg again, and then he's like, "Oh yes!" And they're like getting chased like by like a ship that's like, because the egg is old at this point. It's like it's so last generation, right? And they're getting caught up, and then like there's a ship that's chasing them and like firing, and like they're like, "Oh, our shields are at 10% or whatever." I don't know what they say, and then someone comes on the radio and it says, "Need a hand," and then they like kill the other ship. And then it's super, super old Euripides.
Yeah, and he's like,
but he has an eye patch too, because
everyone from the original show has an eye patch.
No, wait, he's a frog, right? So he saves them and he goes, "Need a leg."
Ay, and they're all like, "What?"
And he has an eye patch too. So whatever happened, by the way, so the thing that happened, like capital T, capital H, capital T, capital H, the TTT, the thing that happened, TTTH, whatever it was, like all of them ended up needing eye patches. Right? And so that's how you know. So Euripides, super old, by the way, was there when the thing that happened. Right? And
is Nepal dead?
Yeah, Nepal's dead.
Is Nepal? I was gonna say Nepal could be dead, or he could be like in seclusion, like.
Oh, and they have to go like convince him.
Yeah, he's super pissed at Nick.
Oh yes, so Nepal's in. So here's what Euripides is stupid old, right?
Yeah.
Nepal's in seclusion, and he's also stupid old, right? And he refuses to go, but he does send his nephew.
And his name is.
Laos.
Laos. His name is Tibet.
But then because Gorm magically shrunk Nepal, but his nephew is normal size for a Sectari. Which is Blue Bigfoot, right? So then when they meet him, they say like, "You got some big feet," and then Euripides goes, "Legs."
You got some big feet. Yeah. Okay. He said, "Yep."
And then
this has legs. Speaking of legs, this show has some.
Oh. So then, they like found their friends, and then they decide that they need to stop Gorm once and for all again.
Yeah, and then we have at least 4 seasons.
Oh, dog. Oh man, I'm not sure if we want this or not, but I kind of like this. When Samantha was born, like Nick suddenly couldn't glinch anymore.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Right?
And so now Nick can never get his...
He has all the knowledge and the training, but not the power.
Yeah, so then
he's like,
his missing arm is...
That's why he needs to go along with Samantha.
His missing arm is a huge liability now.
Yeah. He needs to, like, teach her how to glinch.
I'm into
She don't know. She's just slapping shovels.
Slapping shoves.
Yeah, dog.
I love it. I think this is a great jumping off point. We've been going for 40 minutes, so I think we should wrap it up.
Wow, that fast.
Yeah. Blazed by. Let's cut it, glinch it, ship it.
Slap a shovel and get a shovel hand.
And put it into that good pizza pouch.
And then place it on top of the shovel hand.
Thank you everybody for listening to Rebootleggers. We're so happy you joined us. We love you very much. Yeah, please tell your friends if you like the show at all. Please, share it with your friends and Give us a review on iTunes. Just take a few seconds. It really helps us out. And until next time, I'm your host, Scott Owen.
I'm your other host, Frank Sara.
And Frank, what's our password for next week?
Boy, this week was a tough one. We have a lot of choices, but I'm going to have to go with legs.